Hi, this is David Saville from Face Your Fear and Live Your Passion. My next meetup in August is about how motivation is your worst enemy and why you don't need it. Now, that may sound like a strange idea. Most people think, yes, of course you need motivation to do things, right? You need to have the motivation, you need to be motivated. And that's exactly what I used to think. Now, the problem with that is it can lead to it led to me going into a cycle where sometimes I'd be on it, I'd be focused, I'd be in flow and everything would be happening. I'll be making stuff happen and I would be fully into it. But then as I'm going along, sometimes things get harder. They take longer than I thought. It's more difficult than I anticipated and it gets hard then and, my goal seems further away. It's harder to have that connection and to keep going. And I'd get demotivated, and the further away it seemed, the more motivated I would get and the less I would be able to create. And this was a cycle I went on, because then a few months later, then suddenly I'd get back into it again and I'd feel more motivated, and again I'd be making stuff happen, and wow, sometimes it would seem incredible as what I could do in a very short space of time. But again, if it doesn't happen quick enough, or it doesn't happen in the way that I thought, or a few things knock me back, then sort of fear and doubt creeps in. And that's very demotivating, and I just lost the energy, and I'd find myself stuck in this cycle going from 0 to 100, going round and around. And it wasn't until I came across an idea, a very simple one, that changed everything for me. And it meant that no matter whether I was motivated or not, I could still do some pretty cool stuff and keep creating what I really want to create. And what it means is when you do this thing, when you have this thing, it means the motivation actually gets created. You can create the motivation within you, but when it's not there, the motivation, it doesn't matter. You can still keep moving forwards. And it really does change everything. If you really want to face your fear, live your passion, and to be living the life of your dreams, then it's so important that you forget about trying to have motivation. I mean, I was trained in NLP, and so for me, I used to get myself into these states. There are certain games you can play, certain physiological things you can do to get into more motivated states, and I would do that for a while, and yes, I'd feel motivated, but it would wane, because it was fake. I was creating it, but it wasn't at the deep level, and I still had this attachment to motivation. So if you really want to create something incredible for yourself, throw out the idea for motivation and instead do this thing. Now, I know I'm being cheeky because I'm holding back on what this thing is, but that's because I have a meetup group on Tuesday the 19th of August that I'd love you to come to. And that is where I go deeper into what this thing is, about how you can use it within your life. So you'll be able to go away from the meetup group and be able to instigate it and be able to create whatever it is that you're passionate about creating. So come to the meetup group the 19th of August in Liverpool Street. I'd love to meet you and see you there.